What's up, everyone? It's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and today I'm going to be talking about some of the rumors. Did you have scratch? Did you have itch? I'm sorry, everyone. We must wait for my sweet little princess that doesn't like her new collar and she likes to scratch it. For everyone that doesn't know, this is my baby Tulip. She is in every single one of my videos, even though you do not see her. She is usually just sleeping on my feet. What is it? But she just got a new collar because she peed on her last one. So she's not liking it. So she's scratching a lot and making lots of noise when Mommy's trying to do the video. Sweet angel. But anyway, guys, it's actually appropriate that Tulip is making her appearance in this video because we are going to talk about Chewbacca. Now, Disney has this popular thing with Star Wars characters that were, from the original trilogy. George Lucas created Star Wars, and apparently the reason why Disney is like against OG characters is because apparently George Lucas still owns some of the licensing rights. If you spent $4 billion and you didn't get all the licensing right, whoever wrote your contracts, Disney, bad on you. Great for George, since he apparently is still making a profit. But because of this, Disney has taken it upon themselves to destroy all of these characters that we grew up loving, and they want everything to be about their new Disney characters, like Rey, like Kylo, like Hux, like Rose Tico. All these characters that nobody cares about. Nobody went to go watch The Force Awakens to go see Rey. We went to go see Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Princess freaking Leia, and Chewbacca. And now, the rumors that are going around this movie and, things that the media is releasing is that there is a likely chance that they are going to kill off Chewbacca's character. When I went through and did my video about all the leaks, I don't remember there being anything in the leaks about Chewie. So the fact that his death isn't even mentioned in the leaks could be a red flag. Again, these leaks could not be real. I didn't think the Game of Thrones leaks were real, and then I watched the show, and everything that got released in the leaks actually happened in the show, which was pretty alarming considering how bad they were when I read them. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go and read this article that kind of breaks down the reasons on what this fan theory on why Chewbacca is most likely going to die in The Last Jedi, which I wouldn't be surprised about. Come on, it's like when you think about little kids, the three characters that I think little kids really like is Darth Vader, Yoda, and Chewbacca. And especially, people like cute, cuddly things. Doesn't matter that Chewbacca's a giant Wookiee. He's just cute, he's soft, he's cuddly. You can see behind me I have a Chewbacca stuffed animal on my shelf that somebody was nice enough to send me, so thank you very much. But we like the cute little things. We like the fluffy, just as cute, just sweet. I don't know anyone that doesn't like Chewbacca. So for them to kill him off, it's like, it's not out of character for Disney, but it's like, if you're going to do what they did with Admiral Akbar, which is just kill him off screen, I mean, come on. In the expanded universe, they killed Chewie by having him hit a moon. A moon ran into him. Really? So, I don't trust Disney to do Chewbacca justice if they are going to kill him off. We already saw what happened with Han Solo, then with Luke. I'm assuming that something's going to happen to Leia because that was in the leaks, and so it would not only be Leia, but it would be Chewie as well. Like, how many characters can they disgrace? But anyways, guys, let's go check out this article and go through and see some of the theories on why Chewbacca will not make it through the Rise of Skywalker. Alright, everyone, I have this article pulled up with the fan theories on why Chewbacca will not make it through this final to this Disney trilogy. 5 reasons to be worried for Chewbacca in Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. This walking carpet has been around for 7 out of 9 episodic Star Wars movies. Is this the end of his life debt? We will see. We will see. It probably will, considering if that one theory is true about what's going to happen to Kylo. Spoiler alert, the character that I hate dies! Which would be, I would cheer when that happens in the movie. If I go to this movie, which I highly doubt it. I probably will watch it through some other means online in the comfort of my own home. And if that is what happens, I will 100% be cheering when that character dies, because he's a worthless waste of a character. You add great characters like Jason and Jaina and Anakin Solo, and you throw it all away and give us this idiot, which is Kylo Ren, waste. That is not the spawn that Han Solo and Princess Leia would have raised. But anyway, Chewie's life debt for Han would have, carried on to his children, and with that being, if he dies in this and Leia dying in that, he'd be gone. So let's see. Other than C-3PO, we all know the most important character in Star Wars is obviously Chewbacca. Oh my god, who wrote this? Yeah, we love Chewbacca, but I feel like there's sarcasm from Ryan Britt. Alright. Like C-3PO and R2-D2, Chewie is a secondary character who feels like a primary one. Alright, this person doesn't know much about Star Wars. Alright, let me explain to you Star Wars. It is, in a way, supposedly told through the eyes of the droids. That is why R2-D2 and C-3PO were in every single movie, and it shows, even when they came out with the special editions on DVD, and C-3PO kind of stands there, and he tells you about Luke Skywalker, and he tells you about the stuff, and he shows clips from the prequels, and he's telling you the story. It's because these droids lived through it all. C-3PO was created by Anakin Skywalker, and then he goes with him, he's with him throughout these journeys of his life, and then how these droids are passed on from one generation to another. And, we saw C-3PO and R2-D2, that you follow them through the beginning of Star Wars, when Star Wars was released, A New Hope. Yes, you get introduced to Princess Leia, but right off the bat, it feels like you're following R2-D2 and C-3PO's journey, because you are. Princess Leia isn't, when you watch it, it doesn't seem like Princess Leia is the main character. It seems like the droids are. Princess Leia puts the thing, they escape from the planet. You're following C-3PO and R2's journey. You're following R2-D2 trying to get to Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then, they encounter Luke. And then once they meet Obi-Wan, then Luke takes up the mantle. Then the droids, they've accomplished their mission. So for the first part of the movie of Star Wars, you were following R2-D2 and C-3PO's journey, and they finished their arc within that, or not, I wouldn't say their character arc, but they finished their mission within that first little bit of the movie. They get the plans to Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then Obi-Wan has to get the plans to Alderaan, and that's when we start following Luke's journey from then on. So, and R2-D2 and C-3PO are with him, and they're droids. They don't need to grow as characters and grow up the way that Luke Skywalker does. When we watch Luke Skywalker's journey, and they're there with him, as Overwatchers, and then we're seeing the story through their eyes, and that's really shown during that, special edition that was released. So I think that this person needs to get, you can go through writing characters, right? And you have your protagonist, you have your antagonist, you have your sidekicks, you have this, you have that. I wouldn't necessarily just label these characters as secondary characters, because every character in Star Wars is important to the plot, and it is important to helping Luke Skywalker achieve his goal, to helping Anakin, make that arc from becoming Darth Vader, coming back to Anakin, and bringing balance to the Force. So saying that they're just secondary characters that feel like primary ones, you're doing them a disservice. And I think, just grouping them into that little tiny thing, that's not the way I would describe them. There's so much more to it, and just by trying to simplify it like that, it's really doing them a disservice, as well as all of, the stories throughout Star Wars and how it all comes together, and, the overarching themes of it. That's very simple-minded, and not just simple-minded, but narrow-minded. I know those are one and the same, but I feel like I need to make that it's both. It really is. But let's continue, because we haven't even gotten to everything with Chewbacca. If you're familiar with the LCD sound system, okay, these guys are actually cool. I did see them, and it was right after, Bowie passed, and I was at a music festival, and I had no interest in seeing them, and then I'm at this music festival, then all of a sudden the lights go up, and this is like in the middle of their act, and I recognized it because I had seen this act 1,000 times, and it was David Bowie's Heroes, and I'm the only one at the music festival that knew what it was, and I lost my shit. And they even said, thank you to the one person that screamed, they yelled. And I remember, because my friends, we were all walking back, and then I stopped, and my friend Hope, she just kind of popped down. She's like, Anna's not leaving, but they're playing Bowie. And they did a tribute to him, and, it touched my heart and soul. They did it exactly like he does it in his music video, with the lights, with the smoke, with the tone of their voice. So I have a lot of respect. I don't listen to their music, but I have a lot of respect for them as human beings for giving that tribute to David Bowie. And it sucked that I was at a music festival full of thousands of people, and I was the only one that got that. I wasn't there to see LCD Soundsystem. I was there to see Guns N' Roses. So everyone else was, a lot younger than me that were there to see, the DJs and stuff, which I could not care less about. But I've never listened. Maybe I listened to the song "Losing My Edge," but I don't see how that's in reference to Star Wars. Maybe I need to go and listen to the song. But just out of respect for LCD Soundsystem, I don't know what this is. I have to listen to it. I might have heard it, but does not stick in my mind because, yeah. Oh, okay, well, if you're familiar with... why would you even put this in an article? Because now people have to go and look up this damn song before they can, get the reference that you're making. That's not a very smart tactic to use when you want people to stay and read your article, because now all I want to do is go look up this song and listen to it, and then, that's going to take me from one tab to another, to another, to another, and, you're taking people away from your article. They're not going to finish reading it. So I'm going to power through this, but that's very frustrating that I'm going to be thinking the entire time, what is this reference? Then the refrain of the song is mostly about James Murphy claiming, I was there for a lot of cool historical events. This song could easily be about Chewbacca. He was there, I hope somebody makes a parody. He was there when Yoda cut off the heads of the bad clone troopers. He was there when Han Solo used to be like Alden Aaron. Oh God, that this is not canon. So this, oh my God, that is the analogy that you use. He was there when Yoda chopped off the heads of the bad clone troopers. He was there when it was Alden Ehrenreich, not Han Solo. He was there at the Battle of Yavin when Han Solo made that critical decision not to go and pay off his debts to Jabba the Hutt, to come back and be a good person and save his friend Luke Skywalker and, save Leia. He was there during the Battle of Hoth when they were trying to escape, evading the Empire, running from Darth Vader at the Cloud City, going on that mission undercover to save freaking Han Solo from Jabba the Hutt, and then blowing up the Death Star, going there on Endor. You just say, oh, he was there and watched Yoda cut off heads and Alden Ehrenreich. You're not even highlighting, some of the most fantastical things that Chewbacca did with Han Solo. That's insulting. He was there when Luke blew up the Death Star. All right, there, you got one. And yes, this drives me crazy with people nowadays that are writing articles. Just get rid of the and. Just put, or, make it a longer sentence. Put a semicolon. This needs to not be capitalized. This needs to be a semicolon. Yes, he was probably there when little Ben Solo first started dressing up in all black and listening to Evanescence records. Oh my God. There's nothing wrong with listening to Evanescence. I like Evanescence, but what is this person? What are all these references to music? Like, and you're not, come on, this isn't even classic stuff. This is, what? Don't insult Evanescence by associating that with Kylo Ren. That is insulting to Evanescence. We 2 paragraphs in, we haven't even gotten to the point on why Chewbacca is going to die. This is absolutely ridiculous. Overall, Chewbacca has seen so much of the Skywalker saga that this movie will be the end of his story too. Oh my God, and again, and stop starting your sentences with and. If you were in, an English class in high school, or, you know, an AP English class in high school, or you took English in college, I don't know a single English teacher that wouldn't mark you down for doing this. This is not proper. You're going to be a writer for an online web article thing, or, you know, a journalist. You should know this. This is not proper writing. This is not proper English. And it drives me absolutely crazy when, you know, young writers do this. And that means there's every reason to believe he's gonna die. So this person has absolutely no ground to stand on except assumptions. Again, I think it's actually pretty safe to assume that Chewbacca's probably going to die. They don't want to keep playing George Lucas rights. That's why they introduced the Porgs. You know, well, we don't need Ewoks, we don't need Chewie. We're just going to turn Chewie into a joke throughout this movie. But, you know, here's Porg. So it's a safe assumption, but here we go. Here are 5 reasons we're worried about Chewie in episode 9. Lovely. It took you that long. Why didn't you start off with this? Okay. Speculative spoilers for Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker had. Oh, joy. Nobody cares. I like to use yellow in a lot of my stuff because that's my favorite color, but I have a black background so it stands out. This is very hard to read. I don't have the best vision, but this is dry. Turn up, you know, turn down the darkness, maybe turn up the contrast, use a different shade of yellow because this is hurting my eyes. The Rise of Skywalker needs some hardcore stakes. No, it does. Yeah, okay, I would actually agree. Yes, it does, because Rey defeated the villain in the first damn movie. Snoke is dead. She defeated Kylo Ren in the second movie. What else does she have to do? She's already accomplished everything. She already, without any training whatsoever in the first movie, she learned how to fight with a lightsaber. She, never even hearing of the Jedi mind trick, somehow knew about it and could use it on the stormtroopers. Shout out to James Bond, who is that stormtrooper. And then in the next movie, she sat there with Luke Skywalker for a day. Again, lightsaber. She knows how to fly the Millennium Falcon without ever being on it before. That was the first movie. But then she beat Kylo Ren again. She all of a sudden knows everything about the Force. She can lift everything with the Force. She just is the savior of all the people in Star Wars in the second movie. There are no stakes here. The villains are jokes. So yeah, it actually would need some stakes. But just killing off a character, it's like, is that all you got? Because right now you already killed Han. You already killed Luke. We already know that Carrie Fisher is no longer here, so you're probably going to kill her too. I mean, I feel like all of us are just, like, emotionally not invested, and it's not, we're not going to feel anything, because it's like, you killed Akbar off screen. What else is there for us? Like, you want us emotionally invested? You killed all of our emotional investment. There is nothing there, and it drives me crazy. So many beloved characters will be running around in The Rise of Skywalker. It almost feels like acting out a giant battle with all your favorite action figures. No, it doesn't. Nuh-uh. Darth Vader's not there. Oh, God. Oh, my God. If they bring him back, I'm going to be so pissed. Because that's only going to be for, you know, marketing. That's the only reason Rogue One made $1 billion was because of Darth Vader. Those 7 minutes when Darth Vader was in it, that sold the movie. But, yeah, trust me, kids nowadays don't play with any of these action figures that are going to be in the movie. You got rid of Han Solo, you got rid of Luke Skywalker, who the hell are they going to play with? Kids don't buy Rose Tico, kids don't buy Rey, kids don't buy Kylo Ren, kids don't buy Hux. You killed off Snoke, nobody played with him anyway. All of these action figures went on sale for like, what, $1 to 5 cents? Nobody's going to be playing with these, so they don't even have the action figures to play with all of these characters. That's ridiculous. In order for the game to be interesting, you and your friends have to agree that some of these characters can die, otherwise what's the point of the fight? To outsmart each other, you can have a fight without killing one another. You can watch Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader do that in every single movie, except in Return of the Jedi, when Luke Skywalker faces them off. The only reason Darth Vader dies is because he sacrifices himself to save his son. None of the main characters died in any of the Star Wars movies. You know, the originals. None of them died. You know, yeah, Jabba died. There you go, because Princess Leia killed him. None of them died. There were still stakes. It was still intense. You're invested in everything that these characters are doing, and none of them died. In Revenge of the Sith, yeah, Padme died. A lot of Jedi died. That was a movie when, shit hit the fan, and that's how Darth Vader became Darth Vader. But originals, nobody died, and it was still good. Imagine that. Imagine you having the concept of actually, good writing and good storytelling where you can have characters trying to outsmart each other and having, the stakes be so high and everyone is so, vamped on trying to stay alive. And they had that need to survive, that, the movie is still good without, having to kill off other people. Oh, the concept. Oh, my goodness. Crazy, right? Crazy that you can have a good story without killing off people. Wow, imagine that. Good job. Good job, Disney. Not original thought in your damn body. Star Wars is about war and conflict. Great. Wow. Totally new news to me. I didn't know that, Star Wars was only about war and conflict. You could argue, inner conflict within each other. You can argue, oh, it's the hero's journey. It's all about, keeping, true to who you are and staying a good person throughout all the horrible things that happen, in life. Yes, there's war. Yes, there's conflict. But staying true to who you are and staying a good person and trying to better yourself. Who would have known that is a theme in Star Wars? Who would have known that was Luke Skywalker's journey the entire time, was staying true to himself and not turning to the dark side and being a Jedi like his father before him? Who knew? Apparently that's not a thing in Star Wars. It's only war and conflict. Great. Lovely. And so far, the sequel trilogy hasn't shied away from killing off various characters from the classic trilogy. Again, apparently this kill the past, or let the past die, killed if you have to. Apparently this their new excuse is because George owns rights to the the characters and the licensing, and they don't want to give George a cut of their profits. Ooh, how horrible that the person that created this IP that they're using for their own benefit gets a little bit of the cut. Because he created it. How awful. Let's kill everyone. No, it's because they want people to like their Star Wars, their Disney crap. And it's just, you don't have to kill them. You don't. There's a way to make it seem like, they're, just have them there and make your new characters, make us emotionally invested in them without destroying what came before. There's a way to do that. But apparently that's a lost concept to them. So having Chewie bite it early in the film would actually put audiences on guard. If Chewbacca can die, then maybe you'd start out the movie a little worried. And I'm telling you right now, there's not a single person that's going to this movie that isn't worried. Everyone is worried at how bad it's going to be. Well, maybe I should retract that. I don't think anyone's worried. I think everyone is expecting it to be phenomenally awful. There might be some people that are optimistic, but I mean, I don't know a single true Star Wars fan that is optimistic about this movie, that is looking forward to this movie like, oh, it's going to be so good, guys. We just got, screwed over in these other movies. But, this one, oh, it's going to be great. Oh, all these characters that have absolutely no redeeming qualities about them. It's going to be a great movie. If they killed off Chewbacca in the beginning of the movie, it's like, oh, okay, what else can you do to me? You've taken something I've loved, you've ripped it up in my face, you've lit it on fire, you've pissed all over it, you present this garbage to me and tell me it's Star Wars, and if I don't like it, I'm a racist, misogynistic man baby that lives in my mother's basement, and, just continue to insult me. But, oh, Chewbacca's gonna die? Well, it's like, what else can you fucking do? What else can you do? You've already kicked me when I'm down, you've already destroyed everything that I've loved about Star Wars. You think this is gonna hurt? It's going to suck to see Chewbacca die. It's going to suck, but this isn't Star Wars anymore. It's not going to have the same effect as if, they were going to go blow up the Death Star and Chewbacca, got killed by a stormtrooper in the line of duty. Like, that would have been heart-wrenching to see Han Solo over Chewbacca while Chewbacca's dying and, have that moment where he's losing his friend, his companion. That would be heartbreaking. Everything that they're putting out here, it's like, my emotions are gone for it. It's like, what else could you possibly do? What else? And if they do it, it'll probably be something like Akbar. Like, he gets killed off screen, nobody sees it. 4. Chewie has died before. Back in 1999 in Star Wars novel Victor Prime by R.L. Salvatore, Chewbacca sacrificed himself to save several children, including Han and Leia's son, Anakin Solo. All of this was in the very beginning of, oh god, Yazan Vong Alien Invasion storyline, which dominated Star Wars novels for a long time, for a long, long time. This point, if even you don't like it, Yazan Vong, I didn't. It was very smart to make sure the readers were legit scared of them. And the best way to do that was to kill off a Star Wars character that really mattered. Yeah, and you know what? The writers that did that, they were told, here are the characters that you cannot kill. And they said, oh, screw it. We're going to kill Chewbacca. We're going to him hit, like, a moon crush him. Like, oh, great. Naturally, none of this stuff is canon anymore. Why is that natural? None of this stuff is canon anymore, but because the new films have borrowed so much from Legends canon, Han and Leia's son being evil, Palpatine coming back to life, Leia's failed Luke's failed Jedi school, it's not crazy to think J.J. Abrams would literally take another page from Star Wars history and kill off Chewie. Okay, again, they literally, it's like the difference between a kid in high school reading the book and the kid that read the Spark Notes. They're like, oh, okay, let's get these little things, and then, like, let's try to pitch it like this is Star Wars. It's like, no, there's so much more to the story, and you literally grabbed the things that you don't understand the context behind them, and you're trying to tell the Star Wars story without knowing anything of why a character went from point A to point B to point C to all the way to point Z. They don't understand any of that because all they did was read the Spark Notes. So, talking about Palpatine coming back to life, they don't understand anything about, you know, the clones. They don't know about Thrawn. They don't know about how Luke Skywalker had to face himself and, you know, in the arc with Mara Jade, and how she had sworn that she was going to kill Luke Skywalker, and it plagued her as a person, and Luke Skywalker had to face, you know, a mad Jedi, because cloning people and cloning them too fast creates the madness, and how Luke Skywalker had to face a Jedi and, you know, face all these other things along with starting a school, and the reason why it failed was because there was still that remnants of the dark side, and Luke Skywalker, you know, he saw his student turning to the dark side, and to relate to him, Luke Skywalker tried to tap into it so that way they could have, you know, that bond together, and Luke could bring him back, and Luke, you know, didn't understand. He underestimated the dark side of the Force, and that's why it failed, and Luke spent 10 years trying to get over that, and then you finally have, you know, the conclusion to that, and Luke coming to terms with it, and, you know, overcoming that in the Hand of Thrawn duology. There is so much more than just, oh, Luke started a Jedi school that failed. You have to understand why, and it's some powerful stuff if you actually take the time to do your research and read a fucking book. It's not easy to think J.J. Abrams would literally take another page from Star Wars history and kill off Chewie. You know, J.J. Abrams, I can't stand him. I've said this before. How the fuck do you fuck up the Wrath of Khan? J.J. Abrams like, hold my beer, I got it. Oh, the only thing J.J. Abrams can do is he can make things look pretty. He can make things look visually appealing. He can redo things and make them worse than, you know, the original. You have all this technology. You have all the monies that they didn't have back when these things were being made. And you would think with all of that, with all these all these new resources, that you would improve upon it and make it better. But J.J. Abrams like, huh, no. Let's just do the bare minimum. Well, let's make sure all the special effects look good. Let's make sure everything looks pretty. But let's half-ass the story, and let's compensate with pretty images. That's all J.J. Abrams is good for. And yeah, I wouldn't put J.J. Abrams past killing Chewie. It's... with what he did with The Force Awakens, with what he did with that horrible, horrible insult to Star Trek, which is Star Trek Into Darkness. The worst rip-off of, or, you know, the reboot of the Wrath of Khan. I can't stand JJ. I can't. He ruins things. That's all he does. Rian Johnson ruined Luke Skywalker. Actually, they both play a part in that. Rian Johnson, you know, butchered Star Wars and took any, you know, remnants that could have been improved upon from JJ's story and fucked it up, you know, royally. But J.J. Abrams set the tone by making Han and Leia terrible parents, by making Luke, you know, a loser that, you know, was like, deuces, I'm out, and abandoned everyone. And he's the reason why we never got that to see Luke Princess Leia and Han Solo and Chewbacca all together again. He decided to do that. It's fucked up, but that's J.J. Abrams for you. That's J.J. freaking Abrams. He shouldn't... Anything that people care about that, you know, are big franchises should just not be given to him because he cannot be trusted with them. 3. His life debt to Han clearly now extends to Rey. What? How does that even make any sense? Does this person not understand what a life debt is? Even before the new movies, we've always known Chewbacca had a life debt to Han Solo, meaning because Han saved his life, Chewie would do anything to protect him. In Solo, a story, we actually saw this event depicted, but what does it mean after Han's death? Okay, Solo is not Han Solo, that is not Chewbacca, that is a really shitty SparkNotes version fan fiction, and that is not even close to the actual story between Han and Chewbacca. That is an insult to them both. Based on the way Chewbacca acts in both The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, it's fairly clear he considers Rey to be the new Han. No, it's not. There is no interaction between between Chewie and Rey that even gets the inkling that he that he sees her as the new Han Solo replacement. If anything, he just sees her as a girl that's there, and he's just going with it. He does not... She is not his new Han. She can't even... they can't even communicate with one another. That is just insulting to the friendship that Han Solo and Chewbacca had, that bond that they had formed with one another. They were like two peas in a pod, and to say that Rey just comes in and Han Solo is helping her, Chewbacca's just going with it. He's like, alright, Han's trying to do this redeeming thing, you know, in this new version, Han was a shitty parent, so he's gonna let his friend, you know, try to be a good parent, to, you know, be a father figure to this girl. Han goes, tries to, you know, mend things with his son, gets freaking killed. Chewie freaks out, and you know, Chewie's got the Falcon, but for some reason now it's Rey's. Maybe Chewie's just being nice and he's just trying to help this girl out. He's gonna fly her to all these different places. He, you know, knows that Ben is still Kylo Ren is Han Solo's son. He does have that life debt that extends to Leia because Han and Leia were married. We don't know if they got divorced. We just know that they, you know, went their separate ways. But Chewie still has that life debt to Leia. He's still going to help. That doesn't mean that Rey is the new Han Solo. That's fucking insulting to everything that happened between Han Solo and Chewbacca. That's insulting to their friendship. That's insulting to them as characters. And it's just fundamentally fucking wrong. So whoever wrote this article is a fucking idiot. Relative compete his loyalty, and that means that Chewie would take a blaster bolt for her in a nanosecond. No, that's not. Nowhere in here do you see that Chewie would do that. If anything, it just looks like he's her chauffeur that just is coming with her to these different places, and he's like, yo, what's up, Luke? I'm just gonna chill here and eat porgs. I'm not gonna have anything to do with her. I'm not gonna help her out in any way, shape, or form, except fly her to places, and then, you know, or, you know, be a co-pilot to her as she goes places, and letting her use his ship, because it's Chewie's, it is not Rey's. And then going and helping Leia, because he owes a life debt to Leia, as, you know, from Han to Leia. Oh my god, explaining this and oh, this is painful. I have a headache. Chewie and Lando could possibly and probably die together. Oh joy, oh goody, oh yay, let's bring Lando back to kill him. I feel like this is gonna be the same marketing that they use for Lando. I feel, because he wasn't even mentioned in the leaks that came out. I feel like it's going to be that thing where, like with Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic World 2. Have like, oh yeah, Jeff Goldblum's going to be in the movie. Jeff Goldblum's going to be in the movie. Jeff Goldblum's returning to be in Jurassic World 2. And then he's literally there for like less than a minute. It's like, really? I feel like that's what's gonna happen with Lando. He's gonna come on the phone. It'll be like Luke in the Force Awakens, when it's just he's there at the end and has no lines. It could be something like that, where he just makes a little cameo. if you're already worried about Lando is a goner in The Rise of Skywalker, and you should be, the fact that he's racing around the Millennium Falcon with Chewbacca might mean both of these guys have a death wish. If Lando goes, it seems really likely that Chewie will go with him. Even though Lando was the owner of the pilot of the Falcon before Han, that doesn't mean that he was a better pilot. Plus, Chewie and Lando are getting up in their years. Heck, these guys could crash the Falcon on accident. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. This person should really they should really, you know, maybe take a career change, because this is ridiculous. Or maybe write about something that they know about. This person seems to like music. They've, you know, made references to music earlier on in this. Maybe they should just stick to writing about music and not writing about things like Star Wars that they have apparently no knowledge on, aside from, you know, maybe watching the films or, you know, reading the SparkNote versions of them once. Because this is just insulting to everything that Star Wars is, that it stands for, these characters, and everything that George Lucas built, everything that was important about Star Wars. This person doesn't understand that, and it's giving me such a headache. If Chewie doesn't die in The Rise of Skywalker, we deserve to see his family. What? We did. We saw it in the holiday special. If you knew anything about Star Wars and you had ever seen the holiday special, you will know why they don't really market that they don't show that anywhere. Oh god, there's another paragraph after this. Okay, so what if Chewbacca survives The Rise of Skywalker? Well, if that's the case, then the new movie owes us something big. It owes us a lot of things. I should retract that. They don't owe us anything but an apology. I don't, like, and I don't even feel like I need one personally. I feel like they should apologize to Mark Hamill for the treatment of him. They should apologize to lying to George Lucas straight to his face. Kathleen Kennedy should apologize. She owes him an apology for looking him straight in the eye and saying, we will respect and, you know, do justice to the characters that you created, to this universe that you created. That is our goal. To, you know, just... They owe him and they owe Mark an apology. I don't care about getting an apology to me. I don't care if they apologize to Star Wars fans, but it's those two people that deserve an apology. They deserve to apologize to George Lucas for lying to him, saying that they are going to respect the franchise and the characters that he created, and they need to apologize to Mark Hamill for the treatment that he received from J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson in particular, and the disrespect that they gave to his character. That is something that is unforgivable. Watching those interviews and seeing the way that Rian Johnson, that animosity that he has for Mark Hamill, and the way that they disagreed on things because Mark was the most optimistic out of everyone, and he told them what they are doing is fundamentally wrong to Luke Skywalker and to Star Wars, and they said, F you, shut up, and do what we tell you to. You signed a contract, and if you defy us, we will sue the ever-living shit out of you. Those are the people that deserve an apology, and they owe them an apology. I don't need anything. As long as those two men get the apology they deserve, I will be happy. I can settle for just, you know, watching the original trilogy and watching the prequels and watching the Clone Wars, maybe sometimes Rebels. They are never going to take that away from me. This new stuff is dead to me. I do not consider it canon. I do not consider it Star Wars. Watching those people take the characters that I love and absolutely destroying them is not Star Wars. I don't feel like I'm owed seeing Chewbacca's family. Like, that doesn't define Chewbacca as a character. And, you know, there's so much more that these people don't understand. And it's very apparent in articles like these that this is just somebody seeking attention, and not a single thing in this has any ground or merit to stand on. But it's Disney Star Wars, so I mean, everything that I just said could coincide with that. It's Disney Star Wars, so probably everything that this person said is going to be relevant within Disney Star Wars, because it's just not Star Wars, and any Star Wars fan can read this and find absolutely everything I just read to be ridiculous. I guess I don't even want to finish this. I will. Let's power through the rest of it. We should see Chewbacca's real family in the infamous Star Wars holiday special from 1978. Chewbacca's son, wife, grandfather were depicted on the planet Kashyyyk. In fact, a huge part of the plot involved Han returning Chewie to his home planet to celebrate the Wookiee Life Day. Yes, because it's the holiday freaking special. The holiday special and the Canosity of Life Day are highly dubious, but the movie Solo did in fact low-key establish that Chewbacca had been separated from his family. So far, this plot point has not been chronologically resolved unless we count the holiday special as canon, which you shouldn't. Oh, lovely. This person is telling us what we should and shouldn't think and consider canon. So if Chewie lives, let's at least go get this guy reunited with his family. After all, we haven't visited Kashyyyk since Yoda punked some clone troopers in Revenge of the Sith. Come to think of it, everyone has been wondering about the Jungle Planet, or the Forest/Jungle Planet, in all the trailer of The Rise of Skywalker. What if it's not Endor or Yavin at all? What if they're hacked or headed back to Chewbacca's home planet? Okay, this person, oh my god. Alright, let me explain something. This is such a headache. Alright. It's a forest planet. All of us Star Wars fans are just thinking, wow, Disney isn't an original. They're just doing the same thing over again. They want to be different. They want to, you know, get away from the originals. Okay, then do something new. Then do something else. Also, if you actually look at the trailer, those are the wrong type of trees for Kashyyyk. If you knew anything about Star Wars, you keep making these references to movies. You keep making these references to instances. If you actually look at the foliage and, you know, just the environment design from the planet that Princess Leia is on, this forest planet that they are on in the Rise of Skywalker trailer, you will know that is not even close to the same type of, you know, plants that grow on Kashyyyk. Do your research. I don't know why that's such a hard thing to ask from people that are writing articles that do this for a living. I don't understand, but apparently it's something I must continue to say. Do your research. Do your research. Disney didn't do it. Look how that turned out. These writers apparently don't know how to do that. Again, this person should really stick to maybe writing about music. They seem to be interested in music in the first, you know, paragraph of this and making references to music. Why don't they follow music and stop writing about Star Wars? Because they seem to have more knowledge on that than this. This is a headache. Nothing in what I just read seems like it could be, you know, possible in the movies, but I mean, after everything that we've seen, I mean, I don't even know to discount it. To me, this is just ridiculous. This is somebody that doesn't know about anything about Star Wars that's writing about Star Wars. Well, that was thoroughly irritating, and I have a massive headache now. There are just some people that I feel like they need to take those aptitude tests about, you know, what career paths you should take in life and, you know, reevaluate. This person probably should not be writing about Star Wars, because it was very clear that they don't know anything. That was if you want to see an example of a shill, that wasn't so much, you know, having their, you know, head glued to somebody's ass, but that was very much let me talk about something that I know absolutely nothing about. Let me use these little, you know, tidbits that, you know, let me use headlines from things, and let me talk about it, and, you know, give an example of what I think is going to happen in Star Wars, but, you know, only knowing the Spark Notes version and not actually knowing the full context of everything. That's what that was. That was a headache to read. I apologize, everyone, for you know, introducing that to the world, but that's something that, you know, unfortunately, with the headache, with the massive, you know, that was just a Spark Notes version of somebody's idea of what Star Wars is. That's the kind of mindset that Disney has. So, everything that person said is probably relevant in the Disney mindset, even though, honestly, I think that person might know a little bit more about Star Wars, you know, the Spark Notes version of Star Wars, than Disney execs that are making these decisions and these calls on what is going to be in a Star Wars movie know, which is very, very alarming and sad for the fate of Star Wars. But anyway, guys, I have a headache. I need to go take some Excedrin. So, if you like this video, let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, that's okay too. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I usually don't do content that's that much of a headache, like this article. But if you do like my content, please subscribe, ring that little bell, that way you get notifications on my other videos and live streams. Will make more appearances and live streams in the future. I promise. So will the kittens. And until next time, everyone, may the Force be with you, because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone. What's up, everyone? It's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and I have an Etsy store, so if you've ever wanted to own a print of my artwork, this is the place to go. As you can see, I have a lot of recognizable characters, from horror films to heroes to Star Wars characters. Some of the notable characters I have on here are Darth Vader, which I did a couple live streams painting, so you can own a print of this painting. I also have Luke Skywalker, the binary sunset version, one of my favorite scenes in the original New Hope movie. I have Darth Maul, which Ray Parks himself actually complimented me on Instagram. And then last but certainly not least, Ahsoka Tano. So if you want to own any of these prints, go right on over to my Etsy store. Again, that's The Art of Anna, That Star Wars Girl, or TSWG for short. Thank you, everyone, and have a great rest of your day. What's up, everyone? I have a P.O. box, so if you want to send me some mail, go ahead and send it to Anna, That Star Wars Girl, or TSWG for short, at P.O. Box number 28171, Santa Ana, California, 927998171. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much.